Well, it's time for young children to roll up their sleeves. The CDC has approved COVID-19 vaccines for kids. 23 ABC's Brianna Willis has more on the next step in making sure our youngest children are protected.
This approval allows for nearly 20 million additional children to be eligible for the COVID-19 vaccine. And health officials say this step is so important because COVID is here to stay.
Well, I think, one of the things we now know is this COVID's never going away, right? And so it's just like the flu. It never goes away. It's going to keep coming back. And I think just like we do vaccinate ourselves for the flu virus, we will now vaccinate ourselves and protect ourselves against this virus as well.
Protecting our most vulnerable population. It's something we've heard since the beginning of the pandemic, but now the time has come to protect our youngest citizens. CDC officials signing off on vaccinations for children under 5 on Saturday.
Now that we have vaccines approved for the youngest Californians, those over the age of 6 months, this means that the whole family essentially can be vaccinated. That means protection against the short-term and long-term consequences of COVID.
Dr. Himal Kauthry, Chief Medical Officer for Mercy Hospitals, says this approval took a while because extra evaluations go into testing for kids.
You always want to make sure that, the young folk, that we make sure that these vaccines are tested and over time make sure that there's no major side effects before we give it to these kids under the age of 5.
Secretary with California Health and Human Services, Dr. Mark Galley, says now parents can feel more comfortable when sending their young children out in the community.
That means an opportunity to take that summer vacation, send your kid off to summer camp, send them to a birthday party, get ready for school, things that I know many of us have done with a bit of trepidation over the last couple of years.
And if parents are still hesitant to get their toddlers and infants vaccinated, Kauthry says to speak with your doctor.
Obviously, the best thing is always to ask your physician or your pediatrician whether your child does qualify or, how to go about getting it as well, because they will be able to guide them better.
But as COVID cases rise once again, it's also affecting healthcare workers. That's why Kauthry says get vaccinated as soon as possible, no matter your age group.
Get vaccinated. That way you're not spreading the stuff to some of these essential healthcare workers that we typically need all the time, but we really need at times like this.
Kern County Public Health says the vaccines will be arriving in Kern County throughout the week to providers that have placed orders. And Monday, June 27th, they will update this website, Kern Public Health COVID Vaccination and Testing, to show where the vaccines for children under 5 will be available. And coming up later tonight, we'll have more on how the latest COVID surge is affecting hospital staff once again. In studio, Brianna Willis, 23 ABC News, connecting you.
And if you're looking to get a vaccine or booster, there are free clinics available in Kern. The Boys and Girls Club of Kern County is partnering with Kern Public Health to provide shots for all ages 5 and up. The next clinic is scheduled for tomorrow at the Lamont Club at 8301 Segru Road. It will run from 4:30 to 7:30 p.m.